Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hussain Qazi here, the facilitator for the subject Strategic Business Reporting, Advanced Financial Management, and the Financial Management. I do conduct my subjects with a platform called HusseinQazi.com, where our core objective is to provide facilitation for the learning. This particular session is exclusively about SBR post-result meetup, and it's something about the exam booster for the June 23 exams. Today is 18th of April 2023, and you people, if you are attending the live session or even you are watching that particular video, it means you people are concerned about the upcoming SBR exam. So just before starting the session, I have I've just made a survey from the students and get some particular information. So that's important to share you the survey aspects or the survey, what survey I have performed with the students, or in fact what question I've asked to the students and the students replied me. My question was that to the student that if you are appearing or if you are planning for the June 23 exams for the SBR, so what particular challenges you are facing till now, number one. And number two, if some of you people are attending the session and you have flung the subject of the SBR with March 23 or December 22, so what challenges you are facing? So student replied me some important answer. And what the answer, inshallah, these answers and the solution for that answer, advices for these answers or concern points I will cover with the session. The answers of the students are, sir, the real challenge is about the time management. Number one, the syllabus is very extensive. Number one, and for approaching or attempting the question during the examination, the time management is a very critical point. So this is the first point, the student having a concern for the SBR, number one. Number two, the second important point, the student says that, sir, the syllabus are very extensive, IFRSs are in very deep as compared to FR, as compared to F7. Here, the SBR, the syllabus is very deep. That is the point. That is the second point. Third point, the student asked me that, sir, do let us know how to cover the things in a manner to qualify this exam with the first attempt. Or I can say that, how to pass your exam by the June 23 exam attempt of the SBR. So that is the survey I've conducted with the students, and students replied me accordingly. Inshallah, I will also cover these points with my particular session, with this live session. So now, number one, you people must have to aware about you must have to aware that what is the focus agenda of that particular session. What is the focus agenda of that particular session? Focus agenda. So students, the focus agenda of that particular session, it's very clear. The first phase of the session, we will discuss the highlights of the SBR failure. The highlights, particular reasons, what the root cause about the failures. Why student failed the exam of the SBR. So through my experiences, I will share some points, and also whatever the points I will share here, I will definitely sharing the points based on my experience as well as the examiner reports. Number two, the first phase is about the highlights for the failures. what the reason about the failure of SBR. Number two, sir, if you highlighted the point, do let us know the way forward. The way forward for the success. The way forward for the success. Now come on. Number one, what the particular reasons for the failure for the SBR exam? Some highlights. Before entering the highlights or the reason of the failure, you must have to aware that, and and this is the motivation factor for you. The current March 23 SBR exam result, it's 50%. And if we analyze the situation of the past exams, past 5 semesters, it's between 46 to 50. So somewhere about 46, 49, 51, 47 and 50. So we can say that the SBR result average passing ratio is very, very good. It's 50%. So this is what the motivation factor for you people, that the 50% chance you people have to pass the exam. And I must say, this is a very good passing ratio for any of the professional qualification exams. And for ACCA, for a strategic professional exam, one of the highest level, including SBR and SBL, both having the same percentages. So before highlighting the point, that what the reason of the failures, first of all, that the normal passing ratio of the SBR, it's 50%. 50%, 50%, 50%. 50% is the passing rate. The first point. So I am giving you here a very diplomatic statement. The point is that, the very important point, for SBR, yes, syllabus is very extensive. And I must say the technical as well. But to pass the exam, it's not much difficult. But to pass the exam, it's not much difficult. Syllabus is extensive, but due to passing ratio, it's not very much difficult to qualify the exam. So the journey to cover the syllabus is difficult. The journey to cover the syllabus is difficult. But attempting the exam and qualify the exam, it's a comparative easy task. So first point. Number two, today is 18th of April. You must have to focus that your SBR exam date is 8th of June. And you have almost 7 to 8 weeks, 7.5 weeks from now. So for the sake of success, whatever the strategy you need to make, whatever the direction you need to make, you have 7 weeks. And if you ask me that, sir, is it possible to qualify our exam within 7 weeks? My answer is that if you have already attempted before the SBR exam and now you have flunked it, yes, the answer is yes. You have to reattempt the exam. Don't defer. Number two, who are attempting first time of this SBR exam, and even just 30% of the syllabus you have covered till now, 25 or 30%, just 25 or 30% you have covered. You have to proceed accordingly, or you have to continue your studies with the advice by your tutor or whatever the advice I will provide to you. So that's the second point. So before highlighting the reasons of failure, I have emphasized 2 points. Number one, 50% passing rate, the motivation. Number two, because this session is not only about just to discuss the reason of the failure, it's also about the booster session. I'm going to support you or motivate you. Yes, you have to attempt the questions. You have to attempt the exam of the SBR. So number one, the motivation factor, that 50% chance is to qualify the exam. Yes, difficulty level is to coverage of the syllabus, but not much difficult to qualify the exam. Number two, from now the exam date is 8 June, you have remaining 7 weeks. Now, what particular reasons of the failures? What the highlights? There are 2 points. There are 2 points. What I personally think, the reason of the failure. If you are going to examination hall and within 7 weeks you are not able to cover entire syllabus area, it's not covered the entire syllabus area. That's the first reason of the failure. And number two, lack of exam practice. First thing is that not coverage of the syllabus. Number two, lack of exam practice. Cut short this point, the success of SBR exam is based on knowledge of entire syllabus and exam technique. Knowledge of exam, 100% syllabus and exam technique. Sir, if these are the highlights area, so do let us know how to cover both of these things with the right direction. How to cover both of these things, coverage of the syllabus and the exam practice with the right direction to meet the examiner expectation. Do remember, just coverage of the syllabus with your own mind, not meeting the examiner expectation, this means you will not be able to qualify the exam. You just pick the syllabus content, and not cover according to the exam weightage, according to the examiner expectation, you will not able to qualify exam. Number two, you just practice the question, but not evaluating your performance, that either you cover the exam practice with the examiner expectation, that's called exam techniques, not covering the exam techniques. So you are not able to qualify the exam. So number one, syllabus knowledge. I will provide the advice. I will give you the advice with the next slides, how to cover the syllabus areas. And I also provide the guidance how to practice the exams with the examiner expectation. Now, the very important point is that, number one, how to cover the syllabus areas of the SBR. How to cover the syllabus areas of the SBR. You must have to aware the very important point. There are 5 components of SBR. There are 5 components of SBR. 5 components of SBR. By the way, before discussion about the detail of this slide, I'm asking you a question with you. Do reply me. Have you studied the subject PM with the skill module? So do reply me, what is the advanced subject of PM? Or do you study the subject AA with the skill module? What is the advanced subject name of AA with the optional exam? Or you have studied the subject TX. What is the advanced subject name of TX? So Zohair replied me, sir, the advanced subject name of AA is Advanced Audit Assurance. That is AAA. The advanced performance measurement, advanced name is Advanced Performance Measurement, APM. The TX advanced subject name is Advanced Taxation ATX. Same case FM, Financial Management Skill Module. The advanced subject name is APM. Oh, sorry, AFM, Advanced Financial Management. But in a skill module, you studied the subject FR. FR. Here, the subject name, you are studying the advanced financial reporting. Here, the subject name should be AFR. But examiner mentioned that the subject name is not AFR, the subject name is SBR. The subject name is SBR. So that means there is a difference. It's not like advanced tax, advanced financial management, advanced audit assurance, advanced taxation, or advanced performance measurement. That means the subject having examiner not designate the name AFR. Its name is strategic business reporting. So try to understand this point. You have 5 syllabus areas. It's not only AFR. Yes, AFR is the 60% of the syllabus, but also about the ethics. That is about the 7% of the syllabus. Conceptual framework, that is 10% of the syllabus. Performance measurement, that is 15% of the syllabus. Current development, that is 8% of the syllabus. This weightage is not available with the syllabus contents. But since September 18, where the actual paper started, September 18, since September 18 to December 22, this is what I have analyzed, and this is based on the past exam analysis. So very important point, by next 7 weeks, you have to cover the syllabus with a balanced approach. Balance approach. Balance means out of 7 weeks, if you are spending 100 hours for preparation, 60% time you need to invest for IFRS, 7% time for ethics, 10% conceptual framework, 15% performance measurement, and 8% for current development. What is the one of the reason of the failure is that student not preparing the syllabus with this weightage. Normally student spend 90% of the time with the IFRS, 92%, 95%. And with the last 2-3 days before the exam, just quickly review ethics, conceptual framework, performance measurement, current development. Just spend or invest 5% of the time of the rest of the syllabus. And when face the exam, whenever face the exam, so the situation become bounce back, because your ability, it's not up to the mark according to the examiner expectation. So first of all, you have to cover the syllabus with the weightage. First of all, you have to cover the syllabus with a balanced weightage. Balanced weightage. Candidates, can you please reply me? Is this point clear? The first point is that lack of 100% syllabus knowledge. I have covered the point that you have to develop a balanced approach. You have to develop a balanced approach. The first very important thing. Number 2, the second important point. The second important point. Practicing the exam question. During the 7 weeks, you need to practice the question simultaneously. Simultaneously. How much the past paper available? I will share you with the slides. But you have to simulate the exam question, or you have to practice the past exam question simultaneously. Number one, don't make practice manually. Always practice on the system, that is exam format, with the CPE exam format. Always practice the question on the system, ideally with the CPE format. And I have used the word simulation, not practice. Simulation means you have to attempt the question like you are sitting in the examination hall. On a weekly basis, initially, by next 2 to 3 weeks, at least 7 to 8 questions on a weekly basis with exam simulation. Exam simulation means take out one question. For example, you have taken a question of the 25 marks of the SBR. So take out the question of the SBR. Don't attempt manually. Open the system. Shut down the doors. Shut down your mobile. Means avoid all distractions. And assuming you are sitting in the examination hall. And start attempt question. Fix the timer. 25 marks. Multiply by 1.8 minutes for each mark. You have 45 to 50 minutes. Now start attempt. Irrespectively how much portion you have, irrespectively your answer become right or wrong. Ignore that point. You have to attempt with full focus. The first thing, you have to attempt with full focus. And after 45 or 50 minutes, now you have to observe your situation. Number one, have you completed the answer? If you haven't completed the answer, first of all, complete the answer. Number two, on a routine basis, whatever your instructor says, that is called drafting technique. I will provide a limited guidance here. Drafting technique. You have to apply drafting techniques. SBR exam is almost about 85 to 90% theoretical. Till June 22. What about the till June 23. From September 23, some consolidation aspects may be incorporated more 3 to 4 marks, but majority part still after the June 23 related to the theoretical aspect. So drafting techniques. And if you are practicing the question, ideally you have to compare your answer with examiner reports. At least 2 to 3 latest examiner reports you need to read, and not just to read. In fact, you have to attempt the question and compare your answer with the model answer and examiner report analysis, where you will find what you have done, number one, and what is the examiner expectation. What you have done, what's the examiner expectation. That is the gap. You will identify the gap. What was the examiner expectation and what mistake you have done. That is the gap you need to identify. And then practice next time to bridging that gap. This is called quality practice. Mark my word, if you do that activity by next 7 weeks, at least for 3 to 4 past papers, your chances to pass the exam will be very brighter. So number one, coverage of the syllabus with balanced approach. Number two, exam practice with the simulation technique and analyze the situation with the reports, examine the reports. Sir, what do you say that the drafting techniques? This is what the rule of drafting technique for any of the professional exam papers. 3 steps. 3 steps. Always remember. Whenever you read any of the case, first of all, you have to invest your time for planning. First of all, don't be in a hurry. At least examiner recommendation that out of total 180 minutes, 3 hours, you examiner have to invest 20% time for planning. If you are good to make a plan, actually there will be brighter chance to qualify the exam. If you just start the question without planning, you will not be able to qualify the exam. Simple statement: plan before attack. Plan before attack. Any of the question, either related to accounting standard, conceptual framework, ethics, performance measurement, and current developments. Any of the point. First, plan. Any of the syllabus area you are practicing, first of all, have to plan. Then any of the syllabus area, either ethics, either accounting standard, conceptual framework, performance measurement, any current development. If you are starting your question, always start your question by reference of knowledge. Reference of knowledge. For example, some of the question of IFRS 9, some of the question of the IFRS 15 or IFRS 16. First, you have to put a knowledge of accounting standard. Knowledge. So start with the knowledge, basic knowledge of the topic. Then connect with the case. And this is what the actually technique of the drafting. I can say etiquettes of the drafting. ये तमीज होती है लिखने की. I mean etiquettes of the writing. First, plan whatever you are drafting, plan. Then give the reference. Sir, should we give the reference exactly the accounting standard? No way. Just your own wordings. Just your own wordings. And then apply, connect the things accordingly. Connect the things accordingly. One more thing I must say that the SBR questions are actually interrelated with the topics. If examiner examine ethics, ethics is not examined independently. It's integrated with the accounting standard. If performance measurement, it's integrated with the accounting standard. No worries about that. You have to practice the question with this integration manner. That's the point. Next point. This is what your total practice scope. I don't suggest to go for any Kaplan or BBB cut. This is your complete cut. 13 past exam papers, that's all. 13 past exam questions, that's all. You have to simulate 13 past exam questions. You will be able to qualify the exam. Not able to qualify, you will be able to get distinction. You will be able to get distinction. 11 past paper, 2 specimen exams. And ACCA normally publish the mock exam as well. Normally 3 weeks before the exam. That most probably the mock exam will be available after 15th of next month. That is 15th of May. So this is your complete scope of past papers. And do practice with the CB format. These slides will be available for you people with the relevant WhatsApp group. Don't worry. Okay, sir, these are the issues. So what should be the way forward? What should be the way forward for the success? Number one, it's my strong advice to all of you. Number one, you must have to make the next 7 weeks weekly plan. And you have to, I strongly suggest that you have to split next 50 days. 50 days means 7 weeks in a manner, 5 weeks remaining for the preparation and the remaining last 2 weeks only for the practice. So number one, weekly plan, make a good strategy development with a weekly plan. Number two, balanced approach, as I discussed earlier, balanced. You have to cover all syllabus areas with their respective weightage. Simulate the exam, practicing with the exam condition, and regular performance evaluation. Performance evaluation. Sir, what is the meaning of the performance evaluation? Performance evaluation means you have to attempt your pass exam and attempt the mock exam as well. And with your particular instructor, I strongly suggest you need to get a feedback for limited questions, at least for the 2 past paper questions, feedback from your instructors. Normally, I do conduct my syllabus, and at the end of the syllabus, openly provide suggestions to the students that you have to attempt these particular questions, and I will provide you individual feedbacks for the past exams and the mocks as well. So for mocks, at least you need to get debriefing. That's important. Now, before concluding the point and taking your question, I must say the 2 important points. Students are very much having a fear to practice the questions. Why you people have a fear to practice the question? Do remember that. The success is always based with this track. Sometimes you upward, then down, then upward, then down, then upward, then down. This is life. Do remember, it's not possible to grow in this manner. This is not life. This is the vital sign. This is the sign of vitals of any human body where no life, it's dead. Have you ever observed the ECG machines? They provide the reports of the life in this manner, up and down, up and down. There is no growth in a straight manner. So sometimes you will move upward, sometimes down, up, down. Important point is that you have to move forward. That's the first point. That is the first point. Number 2, the very important point. Never forgive. Do practice as much as possible. The very important advice is this point. Student with the SBR, what the examiner expectation to you. Examiner is not expecting to you that you just attempt the question like balance sheet should be tie, cash flow should be balanced. No, your accounting entry figure must be right. SBR is not the exam like this. SBR is exam to provide judgment. For example, any of the case, examiner expect you have to explain and advise. So your responsibility is to provide the answer with the logical draft. Examiner not expecting that your answer should be 100% right. I am associated with a platinum status college in the Pakistan, Karachi. Alhamdulillah, with the last result, December 22 result, students got 72% of the result. as compared to global passing rate just 48, 49, 50%. I I only suggest to the students that do homeworks and never having a fear that your answer either right or wrong. But because here examiner not expecting that you have to answer in a right manner. Just provide your judgment, because the level of cases you are attempting is a strategic level where the final answer must not be, or uh, the final conclusion must not be based on one single brain. For example, you are a part of the board of directors and there are 4 board of directors, and CFO asks you to provide advice by 4 directors. So what you will do? You will do only your advice in a logical manner. What logical manner? First of all, you reply to the CFO. The principle is this. The principle is this. And with this case, my point of view is this. Same case for director 2, then director 3, then director 4. And then CFO, based on the advices by the 4 directors, concludes some comments. So examiner not expecting you are CFO. Examiner expecting you have to write the answer that like advising by the director. That's a point. So candidates, my last statement, your motivation factor for the June 23 exams is that the passing rate is a 50%. And whatever you have done till now stand up and obey these advices and start moving. Keep moving. If you required any of the advices from my side, do let me know. If you are registered students, okay, that's good. If you are not registered, you can approach me through the WhatsApp. Either the WhatsApp groups, different public groups, or through directly to me. That's my WhatsApp number. Plus, sorry, 00923218271784. 009282717884. Any of the students want to register with my question practice course? That's another course. That's a question practice course. Only the question practice course. How to handle the exam question. You can approach me. You wanted to register with my regular course, you can approach me. But this session is not about to get registration. It's about to provide you advices and a booster to you for the June 23 exams. Candidates, that is all from my side. Now it's your turn. You have a question. If you're taking a live session, you can ask me live. If you're not taking the live session, you can ask me on the YouTube or the Facebook comments. Yes, you can ask me the question. Any of the question you can ask. So here I hope that I've covered the points that you shared with me at the start of the session. Yes, this session is not about any technical points. This is not any about the technical points. Yes, so here that ask me that you are part of my the question practice course and also the self-study. The point is that if you are a self-study student, you are covering the syllabus from the textbook accordingly. With the question practice course, you just you are learning how to handle the question. So I hope that your self-study material plus the question practice course creating a synergetic effect to execute the exam. Furthermore, you can get the notes from You can approach the admin or directly to me that you can get the notes of the syllabus as well. So provide the more guidance. No worries about that. You will be able to get the notes as well. Like Wanda, yes, cover the with my uh, with my regular course. I normally do provide the student the complete roadmap. So have to cover the roadmap plus 13 past exam question. Wanda, don't worry. All of my regular students will also be the part of my question practice course, where you will be able to attempt, you will be able to observe the drafting techniques of almost 8 to 9 exam papers. Rest we will cover with the assignments and more the things. Question practice course is for any student, either repeater or once flunk with the exams, or the students who are self-studying and just focusing on the practicing the questions. Okay, Zohair, I will reply you accordingly. Actually, the right time to approaching the notes and all the things, it's immediate after the result. So don't worry, you will be able to get the things. So question practice course is about how to approach the exam questions. That's important. With the latest exam questions, all these things. Any of you wanted to know what inside the QPC, you can approach me directly. I will provide all the details. Like Wanda, I strongly suggest that have to cover the roadmap and the question practice course as well. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment, Zohair. Like Wanda, is this clear to you? You have to cover the QPC as well. Any other question apart of the QPC or the regular course? Any more question you wanted to know? Sharda, as I also told you that SBR, it's not only about the accounting standard. You need to cover with the equal weightage of the other areas of the syllabus, current development and all the things. Conceptual framework, current developments, ethics, and the performance measurement as well. Yes. Okay, candidates, if you have any more question, you can ask me on the WhatsApp or the Facebook. Thank you very much. I hope that this particular session is actually the booster for you people. And I really appreciate if you share me your inputs or valuable feedback about this session on the Facebook or the WhatsApp group. I really appreciate to provide a feedback on the relevant WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum.